Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Matthew Hallam of Grosse Pointe North Football. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. So I know it's only one more day until you're back out there again. So how exciting is it?
Yeah, really exciting. It's crazy to think it's gonna be my last camp until hopefully playing college. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So kind of talk about like what going into this season, what do you really there are obviously lots of goals to accomplish and all that stuff,
Mhm,
especially after the year that you had last
mhm.
year. Coming off that season, what do you feel like going into this year? What do you feel like you have to do?
Main thing is proving that last season wasn't a fluke and just playing it game by game and just making sure the team itself is good, not just individual players, but the whole team. Because the main thing, can't win a game with one player.
Right.
It's going to come down to all of us, and especially that's what this camp's going to be. We're all going to get better.
Yeah, they always say it all stops and starts at the line, and that's of course where you guys are. So,
Hmm.
and I know most of you guys are coming back, from what I understand. So, how big of an advantage is that for you guys?
It's going to be a huge advantage, I'd say. We have, I think, five returning seniors that's going to be on the line this year, which is a great feeling to have, especially since previous years we've never had a fully senior offensive or defensive line. So just coming back, we're all eager to put that work in. And we all know that even if our QB doesn't want to run the ball much, we're gonna get a lot of running yards in this year.
For sure. Actually, funny enough, I just talked with him. So, yeah, and obviously speaking of him, why don't we the advantage when dealing with a cube the things that you dealt with the quarterback situation and
Hmm.
Ryan playing so well and playing throughout the season. That's got to be another big advantage to you guys to have him back as the full-time starter. And what has he done to kind of help you guys out a little bit?
He's definitely a role model for the team, I'd say. With him, we're able to do a lot of things on the field, able to run the ball, to hammer it in to all the teams to show that we're here to compete, but we're also able to throw the ball to show that we're not just a running team or a throwing team, but we can do both, which is going to be really beneficial for us throughout the season, I'd say.
Yeah. So going into this season, how do you feel like these first few games are really obviously going to tell what kind of season you guys are going to have. But
Hmm.
how are you going to treat these first few weeks? Because it's like it's only going to be you guys, and it's going to be just you guys. It's not going to be you're going to going up against another team until really the scrimmages, and then of course heading into the games. So
Hmm. I'd say we're treating these first 2 weeks completely serious, I'd say,
oh yeah,
especially with bringing the intensity to all the practices, because we're all here to make each other better. That's what this camp is for. We're all iron sharpens iron. We're all trying to make each other better and get better this whole camp. So I think with the intensity that we've been bringing throughout the summer, it's going to carry on over to this camp and it's going to be fun.
yeah. So what specifically have you worked on some of the things you worked on this off season?
Definitely footwork, I'd say the most. Going from last season being a tackle to this season being the starting center, it's going to be a lot of footwork that's going to be needed, especially if we're doing pulls and all sorts of stuff. It's going to be a lot of footwork, which I've been working on, just explosiveness off that line with the first step, making sure everything is solid, that just to be able to move people, really.
Yeah. So this season's a big year for you because of course it's your last go. Have you kind of thought about that? I'm like, I've been at this for a while.
Yeah, it's it's crazy thinking almost basically 4 years ago, joined the football team, not knowing what to expect, and coming from freshman year, having a really good season with the JV team, and then being pulled up to varsity, to then now it's my senior year. Got to make the best of it. Got
Yeah.
to make sure everybody is on the same length and just play great with the team.
Yeah. So I know, I mean, you've kind of seen, this program come up as, basically, I know, when you actually, I know your freshman year was the COVID year. So
Hmm.
to come off of that, and obviously I know for the team, that was also the year that, the team came off of an 0-9 year. So to see how everything has progressed, especially after last year, I know there's a lot of goals you still want to accomplish, but
Hmm.
to have that, and to have that, have the season that you had. I know it did not end the way that you wanted it to, but what is it going to take this year to, get over the few things you need to do?
Um, I'd say the main thing that's gonna get us over the hump is just getting everybody in the weight room like we've been doing all summer and off season, and just bringing the intensity throughout every practice to show that we're ready to compete with teams in a higher league than us, higher division, just like how last year against Warren Mont and then South, just getting ready for those types of games. It's going to be the most crucial thing we've done this. What's going to be the most crucial thing we're going to do. And it's just the intensity and the mindset is going to be the biggest thing for us.
Yeah. And then really, I think last thing, what do you feel like you need to do to kind of, what do you want to really see out of everybody, including yourself, heading into that first game in 2 weeks?
I'd say main thing, I want to see everybody just focused and prepared for that game,
Yeah.
because first game of the season, it's going to make or break us for the most part, especially since Clintondale, they have a couple guys with stars behind their name. They have a couple kids with offers, but it's going to come down to their team versus our team, not one player versus another player. So just making sure everybody is locked in and focused and prepared for that game. It's going to be the biggest thing, in my opinion, that's going to really make it or break it for us.
All right. Well, Matthew, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck this season, bud.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.